Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. As always, happy to be with you here in this moment. Take a breath. It's just good to be present. As the intro says, this is our time to pause together. It's our time to just be, to be still, to be here, to fully gather ourselves up, and to just be present for a moment. And I think it's so important to do that. And very often, as we say we're being present, there are a million things pulling at us. So many things. Our lists, most people's lists are long. Most people have so many things to do if they make the list and write it down. But even if they don't make the list and write it down, it's in their head. There's this and this and this and all these things that need to be accomplished in the course of whatever period of time we may be considering. I'm the queen of lists, and my lists are long. And I make them long, not just for it to be long, but because I like to break down the action points into manageable components so that they can be accomplished. When I do that in an organized way, then normally I'm able to check things off and feel a level of accomplishment that gives me energy to do the next thing. When it's a giant thing on the list, and sometimes there are giant things on the list, I find that I'm not as effective at tackling them because it's like eating a burger in one bite. It just is too much to take on. I mention that because when we're busy, when we have lots of things on the list, when it feels like, ooh, this is, it's big, it's heavy, it's a lot. Sometimes we can not look at those things on the list. Sometimes we can look away, say, oh, I can't deal with that right now. And hence the title of this week's message, Don't Hide, Take Action. So why do I say that? Well, when I have a very long list, I often wake up in the middle of the night remembering, did I do this? Did I do that? What's next? Can I accomplish this? How's the juggle going to work? And my list is long right now. So I've had that feeling. And I don't know whether I was feeling that I was hiding, but I remembered a close friend of mine who has passed on, but when she would have a list, a long list, things to do that were just piling up, literally, but she would tell me, and it felt overwhelming. She would tell me, was her quote, I take to my bed, literally. She would get in her bed, get under her covers, literally pull the covers over her head and go, you know what? I gotta check out for a minute. I cannot deal, so I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm going to hide under the covers. And it was a literal action that she took because that was how she ended up feeling safe when there was too much going on. So I don't know whether that's something you do. Maybe you are someone who doesn't ever hide. Maybe your list could be long. You've got a lot going on and you just tackle it. But most people do some version of hiding. Most people, when there's so much, they'll choose to focus on this and ignore that. They'll not look at any of it. They'll pretend that it's not there and maybe it'll go away. When you have challenges and troubles and whatever those things may be, oh, if I don't look at it, maybe it's not real. Except for life is real. And the things that are our responsibilities are real. And normally they don't get handled unless we handle them. And so the message, don't hide. And I remember when I would talk to my friend and say, oh, are you sure that's what you want to do? Okay, well, if you want to take a nap for this amount of time and then get up and come on, I'll help you. I'll be your cheerleader because I do very much Love the idea of accountability partners. If you have someone or some people in your world with whom you can talk and engage and rally to support each other to get to the finish line, whatever the finish line is, it can be helpful. Then you don't feel alone. But whether you have somebody you're doing it with or you're just doing it on your own, don't hide. Take action. That's the message for today. This is a message always. Take action. Do something that is going to be positively impactful to your life. When you do that, it's easier to sleep. When you do that, it's easier to handle tough things. When you do that, it's easier to access that inner smile because you know you are doing something that is beneficial for your life and probably for more than your life, for others as well. It may not feel like that at the moment, though. So, like my friend who took to her bed, and I would encourage her, come on, come on, come on out. Let's handle whatever it is. And when she did, she felt better. But her go-to was to go back under those covers. And so it was this dance that we would do. And I think having an accountability partner was helpful for her. Whatever it takes for each of us in order to take the step, what is it that we need to do that we're not doing? What are we hiding from in our world? Hello, Rose. And hello to everybody who's joining today. I hope that this message stirs something good inside of you. Don't hide. Take action. Because when you take action to address whatever is going on in your life, you take control. You access your power. And when you do that, good things can happen. When you allow distractions to take over, bad things happen. I mean, that just seems to be the case. So let's look at the quote that I found. It was interesting trying to find messages from others on this topic, but I like this one that came from Teddy Roosevelt, one of our great presidents. Do what you can with what you have where you are. So simple, right? But let's look at this. Do what you can, not what somebody else can. Not, this is just you. Do what you can. What are you capable of doing in this moment? You ask yourself that based upon whatever you're going through, what can you do? What do you have agency to do based on whatever is going on right now? Think about that seriously. What can you do? Not what is somebody else's responsibility, not who can you blame for something. Do what you can with what you have. So that's important too, right? Because what resources do you have? Some people have tremendous resources. Some people have very limited resources. Sometimes all you have is what's in your brain and in your heart and in your physical energy. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes there's nothing else. And that's okay. Do what you can with what you have. What that suggests is you really can't make any excuses. Whatever you have, what can you do with it? So maybe you have to make an assessment. What do I have that can serve in this moment? What is it? Am I aware of it? Because sometimes we don't even realize what we have. And the third part is where you are. So where are you physically? Where are you mentally, spiritually? Where are you in your life? Where are you? What is your state? Your state of being. And, you know, where are you? Take the temperature of where you are to put this whole thing together. So Teddy Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. So when you think about that, there really aren't any excuses. He's saying, be present. You know, turn off the distractions, take a breath, be here now, be in this moment where you are, and then figure it out. And so I thought this would be a great moment for us to do a meditation so that we can really focus in on what this means and the power that we all have in order to access this. I'll say, hi, Kenneth. Good morning. And thank you. Thank you for being present. Thank all of you who are here, where, however, you're connecting to us, if it is in this moment or later on demand. It's wonderful that we can be together in this way. So let's get ourselves comfortable. Put yourself in a comfortable posture. Put your feet flat on the floor. If you can, take your shoes off and place your feet like you're pressing them into the ground. Imagine that you're pressing them into the earth. Yeah. Sit up straight, but relax your shoulders. And put your thumbs and forefingers together, touching, and put them on your knees. And let's take 3 deep breaths. As you breathe in light. And as you exhale any discomfort in your body. Breathe in deep, breathe in light. Fill your body with light, and then exhale any darkness, any discomfort in your body. One more deep cleansing breath. Really imagine yourself installing light in your being, wherever you might have discomfort. And then let it go. And then just breathe naturally. As you breathe naturally, I want you to think about, be with this message. Be with the message. Don't hide. Take action. Don't hide. Take action. Be present. You might allow yourself to see, what are you hiding from? Most of us have something that we're hiding from. What are you hiding from? What do you not want to face? What is before you that is big that you need to deal with? That you've been pushing in the corner? That you've been doing your best to avoid? What is that thing? What is that big thing? It could be a little thing, but it's become a big thing because you haven't dealt with it. What is that? Whatever that is, see it. Don't be afraid. Allow yourself to see whatever that boulder is that's in front of you, whatever that big thing is that may feel like a burden. Don't be afraid to allow it to come before you now. See it. Maybe it's not one thing. Maybe you have a bunch of pebbles that are making it stumbly as you walk down your path. What have you been trying to push aside, ignore, pretend it's not there? Close your eyes to not see. What is that? Allow yourself to see it. Don't be afraid of it, just see it. What is it? As you see it, welcome light to shine on it. Breathe light onto it. Give it energy so that you can address it. Don't be afraid of it. Allow yourself to see it and know that whatever it is, if you take action, you can deal with it. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. It could be a huge impediment. Okay, how can you chip away at it one little bit at a time? What can you do now? Teddy Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. So whatever that is, whatever you've been hiding from, look at it. What can you do about this thing, this person, this situation, this project, whatever it is? What can you do? You yourself, what can you do? What tools do you have to deal with it, whatever it is, wherever you are? And if you were to start right now, what one thing could you do that takes you out of hiding into action? on your behalf. Sit with that. What is that one thing? If you had one step you could take today, what would it be? And can you make a list? Can you make a list of 5 things you can do toward fulfilling whatever that responsibility is that you have right now? Instead of hiding, take action. What are those action steps? And if you have more than one thing, don't feel overwhelmed. Figure out what each thing is that you need to work on. Write it down and figure out one thing you can do for each of those areas of your life to take action to make it better. Sit with this just a couple minutes more. Shine a light on whatever the difficulty is, whatever the challenge is. And believe what Teddy Roosevelt said. Do what you can. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. What his message is telling us is that we can be fully empowered wherever we are, whatever our circumstances, whatever they may be. Okay, let's gently open our eyes. But keep this understanding going that we have the power, no matter what our circumstances, to take action. Now, there's no reason to wait. We have the power now. Think about this. Lori says, "Hi, Lori. This is just what I needed this morning. I'm in San Francisco, so enjoying the quiet as I head into a big week." Oh, thank you for sharing, Lori, and blessings to you on this big week. San Francisco is so beautiful. And since I know you're there for work, this is the time to take action and be strategic about it, right? What can we do now to make the best of the moment that we're in? There's a lot we can do. We don't always think about that. We sometimes when it feels overwhelming, when there's so much on the list, we can feel paralyzed. We can feel overwhelmed. We can feel that it's not possible to get something done. And this is where I think faith comes in. In my faith community, we learn about the 2 wings of the bird: self-effort and grace. That you put forth as much effort as possible, focused effort toward whatever your goal is, whatever it is that you want to manifest in this world. And with God's grace, however you understand God, with God's grace, that bird can fly, right? But you need both. So God's grace is always there, but you often aren't honoring it, or they'll say, no disrespect when I say that, but we often don't acknowledge it. We don't see it. We don't, the grace that's right in front of our face, right? But one way that I see grace in action is I'll have an idea, and I have a need, I recognize it, and then I walk outside and I see someone who is like the absolute perfect person in that moment to help me. Does that happen to you? Like, it's like, wow, how is this possible? I just walked outside and boom, there was someone who I could ask a particular question and get a particular answer. Maybe, wow, that person knows someone who is the perfect person for me to contact for help in whatever it might be. And similarly, when we're walking outside and we have our eyes open, we see when we can be a support to others. And that, to me, that's God's grace in action. I'm going to give you an example. Just happened. I was going to Baltimore to be with my family. My sister Stephanie was honored in a wonderful way. She was inducted into the National Academy of Engineers, which is this incredible organization, service organization of engineers across 12 disciplines who have reached a certain level of success and want to give back to others. And my sister is that person 1,000 times over. So anyway, she invited me to come to the celebration. Yes, Kipling's spirit does move. And so here's a little thing that happened that was so wonderful. I hardly ever, I should say, I used to never ride the subway, but I ride the subway now because I'm being more frugal. So I rode the subway. I took the wrong train because I don't know them that well. And I had my luggage, not a lot, but it was a little bit heavy, a bag on wheels. And it was a beautiful day. So my husband said, go outside and walk outside to get to the train. So I did. And I was going into Moynihan Station, which is the train station in New York City. It's beautiful now. It's been redesigned. And as I go in, because I had this bag with a backpack on it, was kind of heavy. I said, I'll take the elevator rather than the escalator or stairs down into the station. So as I was approaching the elevator, I saw an older woman walking toward the elevator. And there were two workers with big bins, and they did not see her and pivoted and almost knocked her down. So she was a little bit unnerved. I saw her and spoke to her, said hello, helping to ground her again. And we got on the elevator, and I made a comment about the train station being so lovely because it's newly designed. It's a new station. And she said, well, I've never been to the station before, but yes, it's really pretty. And then she said, well, where are you going? Now, this is New York City. Normally, you're not telling people where you're going, but this is an elder. And I hear she has a British accent. And so I know she's not from here also. So I said, I'm going to Baltimore. And so she says, well, is that the same train that goes to Washington, D.C.? I said, yes, it is. So could I follow you to the train? And I said, oh, I'll be happy. I'll take you. So in the train station in New York City, it is huge. In Moynihan Station is a huge floor. It's a very large space with a lot of people always. And as we're walking, I matched my pace to hers, which was definitely slower. I should also say I had about 20 minutes before my train, and it turned out she was on a train a half hour after mine. Because she was on a train so late, she needed a place to sit down. So I said, well, I took her to the waiting area where passengers can sit. She saw a coffee place. She wanted coffee. I said, why don't we take a seat and then I'll get you coffee. So I sat her down. I went to get her coffee. Now they're about 10 minutes before my train. I'm not rushing. I'm just going. I know everything's going to be okay. I bring the coffee back to her. She is so grateful. And I say elder, she's probably about 85 years old. And she has a cane, but she's pretty able-bodied. And she says, what is your name? And I say, Harriet. And she says, well, my name is Irene. So for those of you all who know me, my mother's middle name was Irene. My mother just passed now. I think it's 5 months ago. It was the invocation of my mother. It was a moment of grace to just be able to help this woman, to be able to be with her. So she felt comfortable. She didn't feel like people were going to knock her down. It was 20 minutes out of a whole day. I wasn't rushed. She wasn't rushed. I saw what time it was. I didn't feel like I was going to miss my train. Everything flowed. To me, that's God's grace in action. To me, that was showing up through the spirit of my mother. And being able to slow down enough to know, like, part of our responsibility in taking action is to be present for other people. And I wanted to share that with you because, when the list is long, we often put on blinders and think we don't have time to be of service to people. We don't have time to do X or Y for somebody else because we have to check off that list, man. If I do this, I might miss my train. If I do this, I might, whatever it might be. We always have to have time for other people. We always have to see when there's a need and be able to support. And as I say that, I don't mean give money to every person who's begging on the street. I don't mean that, although sometimes it's right to give money to whoever that person might be. It's not that every single person everywhere in every moment is your responsibility. That's not what I mean. I mean paying attention to the moment. Do what you can with what you have where you are. I was able-bodied. I knew the train station. I saw this woman be so much more at ease with someone who just talked to her and walked with her and was with her in her pace, not rushing. Good morning, Turner from Memphis. Hello, how is Memphis now? You know, that meant so much. And the fact that her name was my mother's name, it almost brought tears to my eyes as I'm feeling it now. Like the invocation of grace keeps our ancestors in our breath. It keeps the power of goodness pulsing through us. And I have to believe that when that is so, it make it easier, give us more energy to then continue to do the things on our list, to do what needs to be done. Melanie says present and connected. Yes. When you are present, what happens? Being able to put that lovely woman at ease when she was almost toppling because these people pivoted and almost ran into her. Being present, being kind, being of service, believing that there is enough time for whatever the moment needs. Pamela, I think, is to be writer. Inspiration is divine. I needed to slow down and just be. I'm so grateful. Me too. I was so grateful in that moment because I felt my mother's presence and the delight that she would have in knowing that I could change my pace and just be with this woman. So she did not feel rushed. She felt loved and protected and honored. And you can't ask for more than that, I don't think. That experience gave me energy. So I want to say to you, as you are going through whatever is happening in your life, don't make the mistake of feeling like you don't have time to be a good person, that you don't have time to help somebody else, that you don't have time to apologize if you didn't do something right. Just be a good human and be kind to yourself and take action. Don't pull the covers over your head. Please take the covers down, get up, take a deep breath. Do one thing today that is on your list that you have not done. You will feel better. You will feel better for it. I'm sure of it. Got some great comments. The invocation of grace. Melanie says, this is so timely. I've been working on an essay on grace. It's something I'm settling into as a caregiver and entrepreneur. And as a caregiver, you have to give grace to yourself too. We always have to give grace to ourselves. It's a circle of love and light and responsibility and commitment and energy. So I hope that as we depart from each other in this moment, you feel good. You feel better than when we started together just 30 minutes ago. because that's what this is to do, to inspire us to leap into our greatness, to access the greatness within and allow that to be our momentum. And so I hope you feel that. So today, this week, don't hide. Don't do it. Don't hide. Take action. Do what you can with what you have where you are. And then see the beauty of your life unfold. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with me. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.